I'm Steve Ledbetter. I'm a new logo enterprise AE at Nice CX1. So we strictly hunt in this role. Our deals are about 1 million in ACV, roughly. Our quota is about 1.5. So the reason why I was interested in working with a coach originally, just some context on where I started. I was an SDR at a recent IPO SaaS company, and I did really, really well. And they like to promote their SDRs directly into enterprise AE roles because they only did enterprise sales. When I got into that role, I could tell right away that there was just a huge gap in my experience as an SDR translating to being a successful AE. I tried to work as much as I could with others on my team and my RVP, but really over the next 3 years in that role and two other roles, I struggled to close deals and advance deals. I did have some smaller expansion type deals with existing customers and some renewals. I worked with a lot of veteran AEs and RVPs, but there's only so much coaching and training. And a lot of people don't have really refined processes for what they do. And when I started talking to Justin, I was 2 months into my current role and was struggling with the territory plan and structuring my meetings. Had a brand new RVP. I was brand new to the product space. And so he really reached out to me at the right time where I was just thinking, what am I missing? What skills and tools do I not have that I can get? And in our first conversation, just his background was similar to mine, being a very successful SDR, moving to AE at Salesforce, and then crushing that, becoming a CRO, and then going back to Salesforce and being a top AE there. It's gave me a lot of confidence that he's experienced a lot of the same things that I'm experiencing and that I have experienced in the other roles. And that he, in having the sales leader role, also just has the perspectives on how do people manage a role like this when they're struggling. And so his experience seemed like directly relevant, and his attitude and mindset towards sales aligned with mine as well. And he's so far been an amazing resource for everything that I've been working on. There's, the courses and the specific frameworks, there's the group calls and the one-on-ones where I can bring up anything that's kind of a one-off. So I use them in a bunch of different ways. Very specifically, what's been beneficial is, being able to ask him questions on things that come up, but also improving my meetings, prospecting strategy, territory and account planning, and day-to-day, how do you manage your schedule and what you're doing and your internal resources and your SDR. And I feel like I've been able to control those things a lot more now. And it's a huge difference in the way that I was running things before versus how I am now. And even on top of that, I hadn't even considered, how does your mindset affect all of these things? When we first started talking, I was pretty burnt out and frustrated and looking for, how can I succeed in this role? I am not here to do anything except for succeed. And, I was excited to start with him, and I started seeing results pretty much right away. So intangibly, the results that I saw were my meetings improved, my pipeline got stronger, I had better relationships with the champions I was developing, which was something I had really struggled with before. And more tangibly, I'd recently closed my first big enterprise new logo in mid-February. It only took about 12 weeks from when they started talking to us, and it was the first deal that I had implemented all of the meeting framework and champion development strategies on. So it was really nice to just 4 or 5 months in from starting to work with Justin to actually get a new logo closed. And so specifically, that puts me at 40% of my quota so far this year in the beginning of March, which is number one on my team. But not just one deal closing, it's also the 3 or 4 other deals that are late stage pipeline now. So I'm at 3x of my annual pipeline for the rest of the year. And there's one deal that's on the verge of a decision, which if it closes will put me at about 90% of quota. So couldn't have had better results so far in just a short time of working with him. And if you're on the fence at all, I've seen tons of people in other roles and in this role who have a lot of experience who could benefit from a lot of the things that we're learning about. How do you make things relevant to your prospects? How do you run your meetings? And Justin really gives you the tools that you need and the framework and mindset that you need to improve your prospecting, make it more relevant, run your meetings in a way that engages all of the people on the call and manages all the different personas in your deal. And then the mindset thing is really important too. It's something that a lot of people are probably struggling with. And I went from being, like I said, kind of frustrated to now I'm super confident and calm when I'm talking to the customers. So if you're in an enterprise role and selling complex deals, maybe there's a lot of internal politics and processes to go through. We have a ton of that here. And Justin's been really, really helpful in here's the right way to navigate your internal stuff, and here's the right way to actually help your customer. So I would strongly recommend working with him based on the results I've gotten.